Welcome back to Escape Reality Star Wars Talk. I'm your host, Caleb. Now our mics are on. Because I had them muted on there, but not here.
Okay.
They can probably hear you, because you got your mic there.
It's right here.
You gonna tell them who you are?
Hi, I'm Seth. I talk Star Wars with this man. Right now, we're a little rusty. It's been a month. That's largely my fault.
Apparently it's Thrawn's fault, but we'll talk about that eventually.
Eventually. Right now, I've decided to make a fun game of Hangman in the background for whoever hops in the chat. I have picked the word. I've also forgotten largely how to play Hangman, but we'll figure that out when it comes to it.
You guess the letters, and then if you get it wrong, you get a body part.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's how I thought it worked.
Yeah. And then it's like with the letters, it's kind of like Wheel of Fortune. If you guess a letter, then all the letters that are in that word show up. Anyways, it's a new season, and we're finally back. Woo! We like to normally talk about what we've been up to outside of Star Wars. Before we get into the main topics, do you want to talk about what you've been up to over the month?
I'll let you go first.
Well, I got back into Final Fantasy, as y'all may have seen if you're watching the YouTube channel or Twitch. Actually, more the Twitch than the YouTube, because they announced the final game for the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy recently. They showed a trailer, and they even gave us a year for when it's coming out, which is insane for a Square Enix project to do.
Yeah, they usually don't do that.
They usually go, hey, this game is coming out in like 10 years. Maybe. We'll see. But anyway, they dropped the trailer, and then they were like, and it's coming out next year. And so I was like, oh, I should probably finish Rebirth, because I played Rebirth when it came out, and I did it on the Twitch channel. Did not finish the game, even though I was like near the end of the game. Like, if you know the original Final Fantasy VII story, I made it all the way to the Black Materia Temple, which is near the end of Rebirth, because that's like the end of Act 2 essentially of the game, when the big thing happens that everybody knows about. But I will still play around the idea of revealing in case there's people who still want to play a game that is going to be 30 next year.
Yep.
I mean, considering it's going to be 30 next year, which actually that makes great timing to finish the trilogy, I guess, for the remake. That's actually really good on their end to be like, what if we wait till our 30th anniversary to drop the last game in the remake trilogy? I think that's you know what, that's smart on their end. So I beat that, and then I was like, well, now I want to play other Final Fantasy games. I finally beat Stranger of Paradise, because I beat the base game before, but I never beat the DLC. And in fact, it turns out almost nobody else has. At least on the PlayStation. I don't know the numbers on like other, and I can tell you these numbers because of the trophies. Because the trophies tell you, generally you can look at a trophy and see how many people who own the game or have played the game have gotten that trophy. And so you can own the game without playing it, so it doesn't count if you own the game. You have to actually have played the game, I guess. 25% of PlayStation players with Stranger of Paradise have beaten the base game. It's like 25 point something. So a quarter of people who played Stranger of Paradise as a whole have beaten it. The base game. And then for beating all 3 of the following DLC, because there's 3, only, 2%? Yeah, like 2% of players who own the game have, and you are way out of camera now, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Only 2% of players as a whole have beaten it.
Mm-hmm.
We can always move that if you want it more in the middle.
Yeah, a little bit.
There we go. That way you can scoot in and not be worrying about blocking it, I assume, is what you were.
A little bit.
So yeah, only 2% of players as a whole have beaten it, and that is crazy to think about. But it's not that crazy once I tell you why. Mm-hmm. And it's why even I initially didn't beat the first DLC. There is an insane difficulty spike.
Oh, yeah?
So, the base game, you can play on Chaos difficulty. That is the highest difficulty. That gets you to about level 200 of gear. So, because it's Team Ninja. All right. So, the Neo people. So it's that style of game where you basically gear up and replay, and in this case you're going to levels. You can replay missions to get better gear and stuff like that. So a little bit of that type of combat from Neo, but with a gear like implementation where there's more of like replaying missions, so you can get a better version of the armor that you've got or stuff like that, as well as like some armor you want based on what job you're doing, because there's instead of classes they do the classic Final Fantasy job system. So and then you can get gear that applies to those jobs and do specific things for you as a character. Like the way I ended up cheating the game and finally winning is if you get 400% Knight affinity on your gear, you are invincible. Specifically, though, when you're in, like, your Chaos mode, when you're, like, in your Super mode. But there's a way around that. You can play an Extra mode on missions once you hit the first DLC. The first DLC introduces Extra mode, which is basically, like, Infinite MP mode. So you play Infinite MP mode, have 400% armor, Knight affinity. You are always invincible. Doesn't apply to your party members fully, because they have to be activating their super mode for that to apply to them, and they don't get the extra mode bonus. Only you as Jack get it. But yeah, so I see why, because then the first DLC is Bahamut. They introduced Bahamut difficulty, and you can only play the DLC on Bahamut difficulty. Now you have extra mode, so that's your way to get around it being so difficult, but you get less gear in return for playing extra mode. That's like the
trade-off.
Yeah, the trade-off is you don't get as good of what you would have gotten if you had played normally, right? Yeah. And so imagine playing on story mode for that game, and then the first DLC comes out, and you're like,
what the hell is this?
Yeah, what the fuck? I wanted to beat the game. Also, you are not talking to your mic. It's very funny. And your mic is facing away from you, yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
ever, because everything I do is wrong.
Everything, Sorry, Weird Al got in my head.
Yeah, but I mean, look, he gets to everyone eventually. Like he's
making it. Yeah, I was about to say, is Weird Al a cryptid? Let's find out.
He might be.
Yeah. He might be. I wouldn't be surprised. Because he still looks pretty young for, like, what? He's in his, like, 60s to...
I think so.
Yeah, like... He ain't a spring chicken, that's for sure.
Google, how old is Weird Al?
As a producer of the show, I guess I have to be the one that looks it up.
Yeah.
I don't even have to specify. I can just type in his name, and it'll probably give us his age. 66. Yeah. So that was a pretty good guess for me. I am on it today, actually, because I had another thing earlier where I was like, I think that's about right. It was the Disney. We were talking about Disney movies on the way here. Anyway, before we shift into that, let's stay on top, because I know how we are.
I'm not doing that today, but that's also because I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Thankfully, I got you water.
Yeah.
We're set.
Because God forbid I ever run on more than like 6 hours of
God
sleep.
forbid Seth has a normal sleep schedule.
Yeah.
He's not allowed. It's against his life. It's against his life contract that he made with the Eldritch being that lets him
function.
Yeah. The truth is, the reason that Seth acts like a man in his 50s is because he is a man in his 50s. He just made a deal with an eldritch horror to be a man in his 20s.
Made a deal with the devil. I live to 127. I just can't experience love.
So you're a Highlander immortal?
Well, they experience love. It just hurts them. That's the difference.
Maybe don't hurt me.
No more.
Anyways,
Stranger of Paradise.
Yes. So the other two. So you beat that deal. So you beat Bahamut.
Yeah.
You kick his ass. And so that's the end of the first DLC. Is you make a deal with Bahamut to go, hey, we're the spoilers for Stranger of Paradise, I guess. We'll only do one. It's not a special. Although it is a game that's only 3 years old.
When do you think the spoiler limit on things is? We've had this conversation before.
I honestly, for the most part, it depends on who I'm talking to.
For me, the limit is 12 years.
Well, the reason I say it depends is because, like, if you're a kid, is it fair for me to ruin the original, like, to ruin Empire Strikes Back for you when you haven't had the chance to experience it because you're still a kid? Just because it's past the 12-year limit?
I'm trying to think. I don't know, because at this point...
Like, a newer generation... Because I think new generation should have the chance to experience something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the idea of putting a limit on, like a year limit, is just not...
Okay.
Because then you're saying, well, it's free game. Who cares if this kid was just born like 5 years ago? Fuck them. They should have been alive in the 80s.
Should have been alive in the 80s.
You know, that's
who are we?
That's why I say it depends.
I have to stop.
Yeah, that's why it depends who we're talking to. In my opinion, it's like if they're younger, I think they should have a chance to. That's why for like the podcast, I will generally try to give a warning, even if it's like past that, because it's like if you haven't had the chance to experience it, who am I to ruin that for you? Especially if you have, like, if you're watching a Star Wars podcast, you are probably interested in watching Star Wars. So who am I to spoil something Star Wars for you when you obviously have the intent to watch it at some point? So I think if you have the intent to watch it, then I shouldn't spoil it. But if you very clearly tell me, oh, I have no intent in seeking this out, then it's fair game, I think, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like this is going to be a spoiler more for you because I feel like Stranger of Paradise is a game you would play.
I'm going to let you in.
You have no intent?
I have no intent.
Okay,
I'm also going to let you in on the biggest secret.
You already know.
No. You already can probably figure this out. I've never fucking played a Final Fantasy game.
No, I figured that. But I figured in this case, since it's more Neo combat, which is up your alley in terms of gameplay. So the spoiler for Stranger of Paradise is you become the main villain from the very first Final Fantasy game at the end of it. So Jack's whole thing about chaos, he becomes chaos. He becomes Garland. Well, he already is Garland. They name drop the fact that he is Garland at the end of the game because the whole premise is that Final Fantasy 1. Spoilers for Final Fantasy 1, a game from the 80s. Back to our what is the time limit frame on this?
Should have been born 42 years ago, idiot.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Get wrecked.
Should have had a better spawn point. No. So the big twist in Final Fantasy 1 is time travel's involved, and that you are in a endless cycle of the Warriors of Light fighting Chaos and fighting Garland, because there's a time cycle, there's like a 2,000-year time cycle that keeps repeating that you end up breaking in Final Fantasy 1. You end up breaking the cycle finally because you defeat Chaos properly. Mm-hmm. Whereas in Stranger of Paradise, when we are playing as Jack, we are on the 18th cycle. Well, we start with the 18th cycle in a flashback, and then we are playing through the 19th cycle. And then the 20th cycle is where Final Fantasy 1 begins. Which is, once again, every 2,000 years these cycles start over.
Oh, boy.
So, there is a huge time gap between each. And honestly, I think there's more cycles than what they say, because we see a few times where in the DLC where Jack fights the new Warriors of Light, because you play as Jack as Chaos fighting the new Warriors of Light a couple times and they fail. And so I always count those as extra cycles that happened, obviously. Because obviously they had that, like, we see them happen. So I think there's either more than 20 cycles, or Jack's cycle that we play through is a further back cycle than what they say but this is in the Ultimania guide, which is like their official, like, published guide of, like, this is the canon lore book for it, so that way you can, if you're interested in that stuff, you can seek it out, because they do that for all the Final Fantasy games. So you become Chaos, and then the first DLC is somehow Bahamut ends up in Cornelia, which is like the world that you're in, because planar travel is a thing in Final Fantasy. Because you are technically from another plane.
We had a fun discussion last night
about that in our D&D game.
Yeah, where Boone's not the smartest man, and he's Laxnor, while he's becoming more lucid. I don't know why that needed to be accented, maybe for importance. Hello, Pixie.
Hi, Pixie.
Hi. We've got Hangman.
If you want to play while we're talking about video games at the moment.
Video games and D&D as usual. So for Boone, being told that, like, planes are another thing, because I don't think anyone ever explained that to Boone.
He didn't go to college.
No, he did not.
Well, he's not a wizard, so of course he didn't. Or a bard. Mine needs to... Yeah, I see that. Yeah, check. Oh, God. How low can I go? Okay. I got mine almost as low as it can go. Yours needs to be turned up. Or you need to talk facing into it like this.
No, I refuse.
Yours needs to at least be turned up.
How about this?
Oh, yep.
Does this work?
That does it, yeah.
I can see it going into the orange.
Up, yeah. Yeah, she said it's good.
All right.
It's perfect. You were saying, though.
Yeah.
Boone never went to college.
Boone never went to college because he's busy doing other things that you can find out about
by watching the Grim Hollow Boom Boys on the YouTube channel.
It's
Escape
only
Reality Films.
Don't worry, we don't post too often. There's only 48 episodes.
Yeah, they're only about a couple hours each, depending on which episode.
So depending on if you start now, right? You could probably get done with it in like 2.5 weeks.
Which will probably be the next time we drop an episode. No. Is there an E?
Yes. There is an E.
While you're writing, I guess I will continue explaining the cycles and you playing as Jack Garland in Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. So the reveal is you play as in the base game is, oh, you're Garland. Because they introduced the Garland character early on because they're like, because one of the things in the cycle is Garland always kidnaps Princess Sarah from Cornelia. You are also, as Jack, a stranger to Cornelia. That's why the whole Stranger of Paradise. You are basically a spy / stranger. You're basically a robot, kind of. They don't explain it. They don't go into what you are.
Can't see what the next layer is.
An R.
Yes.
They don't go into what you are. They kind of just go, you're a stranger. So, like, you're either a robot or, like, a clone or something. Like, they don't explain that. And we know they have the technology. Like, you're basically sent by an alien, another planar race called the Lufinians.
Yeah.
You know about the Lufinians.
I know about this because you've explained to me the plot of the game.
The Lufinians are just fucking around with shit.
Mm-hmm.
Their thing is, she just put
Yeah.
Uh,
A lot of words now. Here's the fun part.
so they basically are like not so they like, and so we know that there's cloning and stuff and like robot people because one of your buddies that you I don't know, one of the people you're working with turns out to be like an android, essentially a synthetic humanoid, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, synthetic elf. Astos is a dark elf that is actually synthetically created. Anyways, getting way away from the point. Yeah, she's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Second DLC, they introduce another harder difficulty. Because this is when they introduce the idea that the Lufinians are not done fucking around with us.
No.
But also it's because
why would they?
Well, to be fair, Jack threatened them. At the end of the base game, Jack goes, I am chaos. I'm going to kill you motherfuckers. He basically does a John Cena WWE style, like,
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. You in particular. And then so, like, because he does that, the Lufinians are like, well, fuck, we gotta do something about this shit. So they start making more and more monsters because they're creating the darkness to then combat the darkness with the light because there has to be balance. So they are creating darkness on purpose and then sending people, warriors of light, the strangers, to go deal with it. Whereas Jack's plan is basically, well, I'm going to become the darkness, and then we'll let Cornelia create their own warriors of light, because naturally, if the balance exists, then the world of Cornelia will just present its own heroes eventually, right? And then they don't need you stupid Lufinians getting it up in their shit, because then they can defend themselves. NS, by the way. Oh, first body part. Got a head. All right. So yeah. So in the second DLC, one of the Lufinians named Nil decides to get involved and transports Gilgamesh, who is a secret boss in most Final Fantasy games, and he's basically like a four-arm sword-wielding motherfucker who always has like magic, like different magical swords from different cultures. Like he carries Excalibur, for example, at points. And so they introduce Gilgamesh difficulty along with Gilgamesh. And then Gilgamesh and you fight a couple times, and then eventually Gilgamesh is like, I should help you figure out why I'm here, and also figure out what the fuck is going on. Because Gilgamesh is like, I'm used to planar travel, but also, what the fuck happened? Because Gilgamesh is like, I've come across planes all the time, because it's part of the lore that he is going across the planes when he's in every Final Fantasy game. So, like, that is the canon of him doing that. And then they introduce, like, a 100-level tower area that you can go through for that to... But you only need to go through like 21 of the floors to actually finish the DLC. So that's all we did. And then the third DLC drops. They add more floors to that dungeon, by the way. We don't have to go through them, though. And then, once again, Nil is like, I'm going to fuck with them some more, and I'm going to pull another person from a different Final Fantasy game in. I'm going to pull in the Emperor from Final Fantasy 2. And then, there's a Moogle who witnesses this and goes, oh, Kupo, fuck, I need to go tell Jack and let him know what bullshit's going on. And so we're hanging out with Bahamut. Oh, I forgot to tell you what the deal with Bahamut was.
Yeah, why is he mad?
So he got transported to our world after he got almost killed by humans. Because
I'd probably be mad at humans too.
He did the god shit, and then humans said, we don't need you anymore. Bye. Which is sad, because Bahamut is one of the good ones.
It's like...
He's one of the good dragon gods.
Yeah.
It's not Tiamat. He's a good dragon god.
Bahamut's over here. I'm trying my best, man.
So, but we fight him in that his DLC, and then we like convince him. Hey, well, no, we fight him at the end because
Trying.
what are you looking for?
Uh,
She hasn't said any new one
Okay.
yet. I'll let you know. It's just the S so far. So you fight Bahamut. Well, you work with Bahamut because you go, hey, you're really powerful. What if you bestowed a boon onto the real Warriors of Light when they come around, so that way they can defeat us? And
all right, sure.
Bahamut goes, all right, sure, but first you got to like prove you're worthy of that, and that I can. So we have to collect rat tails for him, which is a throwback to the Final Fantasy 1 when you have to do that for Bahamut to get your boon. He's a dragon. He wants rat tails. Okay, let the dragon.
Are these big rats
We don't.
or normal-sized rats?
They're metaphorical rat tails in this case. In Stranger of Paradise's case,
Okay.
it's more of like we go through. I guess we get literal rat tails. We don't know the size because we don't fight rats in the game to get them. And I can't remember in Final Fantasy 1, but I know in Stranger of Paradise we don't. Stranger of Paradise we get like we just
Bahamut anti-ratting.
let the dragon. Okay. Either way. He's like, it's not when you confront him about that. You're like, why do you want rat tails? He's like, in Stranger of Paradise they confront him about it. He's like, well, it's not about the rat tail. It's more about the fact that you did something heroic to earn the rat tail, and therefore you.
Okay.
So it's more of the principle and less about the tail itself.
I'm over here like, where you go? Why do you need this?
It's fair.
The big
The game.
dragon
It's fair. The game
goddess.
answers you. So, anyways, yeah. So, final DLC. Once again, they introduce another difficulty spike called Lufinian,
Mhm.
and then you defeat the Lufinians, and then you defeat Neil after she uses Omega weapons on you,
Seems a little unnecessary.
weapons that kill gods.
See previous statement. Seems a little unnecessary.
Well, so far nothing else has killed us, so
I guess by that standard, then yeah.
And so we defeat her, and then she has like a crystal thing where she can clone creatures and stuff. And so there are two futures presented because the game is like, well, we already know that multiverse and planar travel stuff and time travel shit is a thing, so we're gonna just talk about the fact that there are two time lines. So you play out a mission where you defeat her, and then Jack goes, all right, I don't need that shit. We're going to go back home and gonna go back to doing our thing. And the Moogle's like, Kupo! But also there's another future. And so then we play out the other future where we then have to fight the Emperor because we didn't have to. We fight him once but we don't kick his ass properly. He gets away. He gets a little ha ha ha, I'm running away bullshit.
Mhm. As usual.
But in the different future, we get to kick his ass properly because Jack is like, I want the crystal. C. Jack's like, I want the crystal. Emperor goes, I want the crystal, and he grabs it first, and then we kick his ass while he has a crystal. The body. So no C. No S, no C. And so when you kick his ass, then he's like, then Jack takes his magic away. So the Emperor's
says chaos. You don't get to have that.
Yeah, so the Emperor's no longer magical, and then he sends him back to his game, essentially.
Go home.
Which changes the timeline of Final Fantasy II entirely. That makes it to where like the events of Final Fantasy II definitely don't happen because the Emperor is not he's not a sorcerer anymore.
You know what? Speaking of evil sorcerers in games,
Basically, it's like if you told Palpatine, you're not a Sith anymore, you don't have a connection to the Force, but we're sending you back to Star Wars.
so how familiar are you with the Mortal Kombat, the new timeline after the
Oh,
reboot?
like after 9 reset
Yeah.
it? Not too familiar.
So, Mortal Kombat 1, we learned that Liu Kang is a little bit of a jerk, but also Shang Tsung being wealthy didn't help him before.
Oh, yeah.
So it just seems that no matter what, Shang Tsung always decides to be evil.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What's up?
N.
Yes.
Oh.
It's very appropriate.
Yeah. Is that why you picked that word?
Yes.
Pixie solved it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. But that's so that is why only 2%, because even once the Bahamut difficulty got released, people on Reddit were like, "What the fuck is this?" Let me look at how many people have beaten, because I think we can probably track. My $5, please. That was promised.
No.
There was no $5.
You
promised.
get one. You did good, kid. That's it. That's your reward.
More like, because it's noir, it's more like you get 5 cents.
You get 5 cents and the stale coupon that's expired.
Let me see here. Let me look at Stranger of Paradise. Let me look at trophies real
Yeah.
quick on my phone.
So
Yeah, you can talk about what you've been up to,
Yeah.
though, because I took 30 minutes of our time.
I've been going through and replaying a lot of the games because that's what I do. I don't.
Yeah, don't you have a poll going on in
Yes.
Pixies?
And you should vote.
Oh, yeah, I haven't voted, yeah.
You guys can vote for multiple things just to let them know.
And what, they're voting on what type of ending path you're
Yeah.
going? Yeah.
And I can't believe you wanted me to. One of your options is to sell out to a fucking corporation, Pixie.
I mean,
It's an option.
it's an option. I'm trying to find. Oh, yeah, Pixies. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
PC. Yeah, I saw that. The PC going to shit. Yeah.
My thing did eventually update.
So I cannot look up the trophies from my phone.
Mm,
Let me see.
damn.
Maybe there's a website for that. I bet you there's a website that
Probably
shows you.
is. So
People do kind of want a sequel, though, to Stranger of Paradise that have completed the game
Mhm.
fully, because they're like, oh, Emperor No Magic presents an interesting...
yeah, like what the fuck is going on?
They're like, we would like to see a time, like, maybe there should be a Stranger of Paradise entry for each Final Fantasy numbered title, because that's basically what the first one
Yeah.
is. It's a entry. It's like a love letter to the first game. Had to factory reset everything, and I hope it fixed the problem, but I'm still nervous. If it comes back again, I think it means I might need a new SSD.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend I know what that word meant.
So factory reset.
I know what that one.
Which SSD, that's the
I'm gonna take
solid
a guess.
Oh, okay.
System software device.
Solid state drive.
Fuck.
It's the hard drive. Because there's SSD and then there's another one.
Hmm.
Let me see. Anyways, yeah, HDD. Hard. I forget what that one is.
If it's hard drive device, I'm gonna be mad.
No, it's not.
But I'm going through Cyberpunk. I've basically got everything done. I'm just waiting for the poll to close, and then I'm gonna figure out.
Hard disk drive. Oh, okay. So not that far off. You were kind of on the right track. Yeah. Yeah.
I get half credit.
Yeah. Anyways, you were saying though.
So I'm almost finished with Cyberpunk. I have decided to become a terror on the streets of Night City. Not that I wasn't before, but now there's no like purpose apart from leveling up my handgun skill.
Yeah.
Because I want to get the last perk in that perk tree. Unfortunately, that means I have to go around maxing out the handgun skill.
Yeah.
Narratively, I'm done with everything. There are no more, like, police scanner gigs. There's no more side missions. There's no more, like, main story gigs. I'm on the last one.
Oh.
So now, no, I just am kind of like trying to do that. But if I can't do it before like the poll closes on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. I'm just gonna go through with whichever ending is there.
So I did find the percentages.
Okay.
I did manage to find it on the app. So completing the base game, 25.4%.
Okay.
I must have hated myself when the game first came out because I completed it on chaos difficulty as well, which is only 14.5% of people who have played it on the base game on chaos difficulty and beaten it. As for the first DLC, Trials of the Dragon King, let's see. Complete. Yeah, Cornelius Hope. That is 4.5%.
Good for you, dog.
So I am in the strong minority. Like, the first DLC. That's the first DLC. Second DLC, which I did, that was only for the first time. That was my first, since I only beat it for the first time with you guys. Let's see. I think that would be the one. 3.2%. And then Different Future, the final DLC. Cycle ends, defeated Jack Garland. 2.4%, which it's unfortunate because I think it's a really cool ending because you get to play as the actual Warrior of Light and fight Garland in the final mission and then beat him because you set up the events of Final Fantasy 1 that way. So it's kind of upset, like, because he's not Chaos in that fight. He's just Garland. And then you fight him again as Chaos because of the time travel shenanigans in Final Fantasy 1. Because he becomes Chaos proper. Anyways.
Chaos.
I think the memification of that game kind of has ruined it for a lot of people, even though it's a really good game with a really good story. There is some memification with the fact that there is some modern day music in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got not modern on one end, but there is one scene where there's a modern song, but then there's one scene where it's My Way from Frank Sinatra.
Mm-hmm.
They do that twice actually in the game, and then there's a scene where somebody basically tries to explain to Jack, chaos is just a concept, it's more of just a fairy.
I don't care. I'm gonna go punch it.
Well, no,
it dies.
He literally says after they give a whole speech about it, he goes bullshit, and then puts on then puts on some music into it, like he turns out his little iPod Nano and walks away. And people are like, that's been edited, right?
No,
that's how the scene plays out.
It's the same kind of energy as like spoilers for Devil May Cry 5.
It's Devil May Cry energy.
No.
In general, but yeah.
What I'm about to explain. So there's a character who a lot of people assumed was kind of like dead for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back and he is like, hello, protagonist. Who I know who you are, but I'm not gonna say shit. Give me my thing back.
Oh my god.
And he just fucking yanks one of the protagonist's arm off, because that's where the thing he wants is.
Yeah.
And he's like, anyway, later, within the span of like 20 seconds.
But yeah,
I'm gonna go plant a tree that's evil. That's the setup for Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah. But yeah, so like it's very goofy in some regards, but like the story is still really good. And so I think the goofiness kind of has detracted from the good story.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're a Final Fantasy fan in general, but even if you just like a good story about stuff like that's time travel and personhood and knowing who you are. You need to scoot in, sir. You are off camera. Also, the game's over, so you can.
Game's over. Give me a sec.
Yeah. We're about to go into the news, I guess.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because we do have a few pieces of news that we've missed out on while being gone. Because we took our seasonal break, and then we took a little longer than the break we wanted. You can either use the eraser or you can use the washcloths. Yeah.
This one.
Either one. I originally had one of them a little bit wet when we were playing the game last season, but
Well, it's been a month.
it's been a month, so they've dried out.
Yeah.
But they still work for cleaning that up. Yep. All right. But yeah, since we had a month break, there's been some news in Star Wars. Some exciting stuff all together, especially since we've been talking about video games. A lot of gaming stuff.
Yeah, let's get started. Said we had some trailers, right?
Yes. So finally, well, firstly, we have a story trailer for Galactic Racer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Eclipse.
No, let's be honest. Eclipse is.
I know.
Although we
That
had,
was a shot.
although we had some recent news about Eclipse, but I didn't feel like it was.
Yeah, it wasn't fun news.
It's very much hey, our studio's been like firing people, but also Eclipse is fine. It's still happening, is what the story was. And I'm like, yeah, sure, buddy. So that's why I didn't really want to talk about it. But since you brought it up, there we go. That's as much as we're going to talk about Eclipse. But firstly, we got a story trailer for Galactic Racer. And we know it's coming out October 6th for Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and PC. So we're going to go ahead and watch that together. Oh, it is. That was my script.
Yep. It's the thing I don't ever read.
Let me make sure it's correct this time. Yep. Okay. That down a bit. That way they can hear us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny that we're going to talk about the racing video game, considering one of the issues of the comic for the main topic.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm so excited about vehicles being destroyed, man.
So happy.
Sebulba!
Who are you talking about?
Legends do. To be fair, Anakin is like, what, the only human that probably kicked his ass?
Mm-hmm.
Ever?
Yeah.
Hey, Mos Espa. We got the Mos Espa race track. That's great. Oh, Sebulba and his pod. So why are you the champion and not Sebulba? Is Sebulba kind of like, you know how in NASCAR, eventually a driver like retires, but then they become like an announcer?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what Sebulba is at this point?
It's either that or he's in a different circuit.
Yeah, because like...
It's probably more that he's in a different circuit.
Yeah, no, but like, it's kind of funny to think about. That Sebulba's like, he's like, this is me showing how much NASCAR I barely know,
Mm-hmm.
but like the Jeff Gordon of, because I think he commentates now. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't fucking watch
I used
NASCAR.
to know some of the drivers because my dad and mom watch it, but
Andrew would fucking know some NASCAR names. I don't.
yeah, but
Just too busy reading books.
we already know that that's not the game you're more excited for, though. There's another one that I think you're more excited for out of the two games that are coming out, but like for this year. Obviously, there's one that you're most excited for, but that's not this year.
Yeah.
No Jedi 3 news, sorry.
It's okay.
We'll probably hear something soon, though. I imagine by the end of this year or sometime near the start of next year, we'll hear something.
Yeah.
I
do think Star Wars always excels at like the story mode aspects of its games because that's just kind of how it's designed.
Although Battlefront tends to be that tends to be where the on the multiplayer aspect is probably where it excels, but that's because similar to like a Call of Duty game. That's what most people play. Your mic looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, plug it in.
Oh, yeah, that probably would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Just push it in there. Yeah, there you go. We're good. And we're still online. That's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
Are we online? Yeah, okay. Are we live? We're live. I'm excited for Galactic Racer because I grew up playing the pod racing games. I really like them. I grew up with the N64, you know, episode 1, and then Racer Revenge on PS2, which was way more fun for me. Like I never beat episode 1 as a kid. I eventually beat episode 1 Racer down the line. I think I did it for... No, I haven't done it for you guys. It's on my list, though, to do it for you guys. I did eventually beat it for myself, but, like, especially because it's on modern consoles now for episode 1 Racer. But Racer Revenge was kind of more my favorite because that one you had the vehicle destruction, and you could, you know, knock out opponents, and it actually affected the race. So you could, like, go from, like, last to 7th place, because I think it was usually like 8 racers. So you could go from 8th to 7th by knocking out the guy that was in 7th in front of you, and you're just like, I'm just going to keep knocking people out until... But you can only do, like, you still had 3 laps to do it, so you had to still be strategic about knocking people out. But you did get rewarded for the more people you knocked out, because you got more money for doing it, and then you could use that to upgrade your pod. And so I liked that. I'm curious to see how Galactic Racer... I mean, they've got a good team behind it. We already know from Pixie that Zach plans to play it as well, because it's from which racing series is it that they... It's not Burnout, is it? Once again, using the power of the internet.
Yep.
Sorry, Galactic Racer is too broad of a term for Wikipedia. Apparently that is developed by Fuse Games, published by Secret Mode. Secret Mode doesn't have anything. I think it's the Fuse Games company. That's the... Oh, okay, yes. So I was kind of right.
Speed
and Burnout, yeah. So Fuse Games is a new company that was founded by Senior Development.
Includes collaboration with DICE.
Which makes sense, because DICE tends to be involved with the story modes for a lot of Star Wars video games. That's probably where they're involved as well in this one. Because they did it for Battlefront 2 or... Actually, no, Respawn's usually... Sorry, I'm thinking of Respawn that's usually involved. That is interesting that DICE is involved. Because Respawn is the story people, because they did the Jedi Fallen Order game, and then they helped with the Battlefront 2 story mode as well. And interesting. I did not see that coming. So that's interesting. But yeah, we're gonna play it. Obviously, it comes out October 6th, so we'll play it for the channel and talk about it when it comes out. But next we have a gameplay trailer and release date, because this is the one that I was like, why have we not heard when this is coming out yet? We have a release date for Zero Company.
All right.
Which is coming out August 27th, so next month, for Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. No PC, interestingly. But let's watch.
Brief reminder, basically Star Wars XCOM.
Oh, well, we're about to see that, because we're going to watch the trailer together. So they'll get to see it. Contains flashing images, so heads up. Yeah, it takes place during the Clone Wars.
Gameplay not final.
I feel like out of the two, this is the one you're probably more excited about.
Little bit, yeah.
And also, once again, a new studio, Bit Reactor. They're really giving chances to newer developers. Or, well, newer development studios. Not newer developers, because a lot of these new development studios are created by execs from... Or like top developers from other companies.
You still got it all, man.
Like this one is made from a lot of people that used to work on XCOM games. Yep, it's looking very XCOM-y. It seems the cutscenes though are a little bit better though than an XCOM game. Yeah, our Jedi. Our singular Jedi. Which...
You get one.
But... because we've talked about this... Oh, I'm excited about the fact there's an Utapauan. Or, sorry, not an Utapauan. What's the name of that race?
I don't know.
I'm about to get wrecked by people in the comments for not remembering the name of this. Because it's from, like... It's the name of one of the best arcs in Clone Wars. It's
not
the one with
Maul.
Pong. No, it's the one with Pong Krell.
Oh fuck. Is it the
Umbaran? Umbaran. There it is. I got there eventually. Were you about to get there too?
I was about to say, is it the Siege of Umbara?
Yeah, it's the Umbarans. Yeah. So I'm excited to see the Umbaran on our team, only because the Umbarans are for the Separatists during the Clone Wars for the most part. Ex-Separatists, yeah. Oh, I know why the cutscenes are so good in this one. This is the one that Respawn is helping with the story mode for. So, he had to show up at some point. It takes place during the Clone Wars. We got to know what Skywalker was having for lunch when Zero Company was operating.
Does anyone want to tell him this is a stealth mission? No. It's no longer a stealth mission.
I will say, I just made the joke about it, but honestly, it is nice that, because we talked about it when this game was announced, it is nice that they are not focusing actually on the main trio.
Yeah.
Like, this is a new set of characters, original story. Cool. I don't mind that. This is my exception to the rule of I don't want any more Clone Wars. This is the exception. This works. This and Bad Batch.
Yep.
Finish the final issue, Dark Horse.
Please.
You keep making me a liar to poor Seth.
Yeah.
I keep telling Seth, hey, we're getting the next issue of Bad Batch. We're going to get
boys.
to talk. You ready to talk about Bad Batch? And then I look at the schedule and I'm like, oh, it's not out yet, actually. My bad.
It's okay. I put you through like a month of me refusing to read, so. Well, not refusing, trying, getting bored, and then trying again, getting bored.
Once again, though, we can try it next time we try. I will let you borrow the physical copy just to see if that makes a difference, or if it's just the writing. And you might just. It
might
seems
be the one guy.
I was about to say it's about to seem blasphemous on a Star Wars podcast, but you might be the only guy who doesn't like Timothy Zahn's writing.
I'm trying to remember if we've read any of his
It's just Thrawn books.
If we've read any of like his
other
works
Thrawn.
by him.
No, just Thrawn.
No, okay.
So far, just Thrawn.
I don't think that. Oh, we might need someone go back and rewatch the episode.
I don't think you hated Chaos Rising as much. You weren't as big of a fan of it still, but you didn't like. It wasn't as much of a struggle as this one. Yeah, I mean, he mostly just writes Thrawn, really, in Star Wars.
The Black Collar series.
Yeah, he's got the black. Yeah, he's got a lot of other stuff. I mean, those are highlights. His bibliography is.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the man has his own big bibliography page on Wikipedia. That should tell you alone that there's enough writing. But yeah, no. Yeah, it's mostly Thrawn, as you see. And Mara Jade. In Legends continuity. But so
I am looking forward. Like you said, I don't favor racing games. To be honest, I also don't necessarily favor top-down strategy games either. But
Out
if
of the
those are
two-
my choices, if I have to choose,
and more than likely what's really going to happen is I'm going to play them and then you're going to watch the story.
yeah,
I might make you get your hands on at least the racing game once, play one race with me just so you can actually review the controls and the
Yeah.
functionality of the game and not just the story. And I'll do the same with Zero Company. I'll probably get like one day where you play like maybe the tutorial mission or whatever, or we play an hour of the game. So that way, once again, you can give your actual... Because I don't think it's fair to do a game review and be like, I didn't play the game, I just watched the story. It's like, so how do you review the gameplay part?
I don't. I leave. This is a 2-person podcast. We do 2 different things. You skip every cutscene, and
I don't skip cutscenes.
No, in theory, that's
Yeah.
how we would do it. You would skip every cutscene, and then I'd tell you what would happen.
Yeah. But
What happened?
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm not that type of... I'm not a ball and gun player. Despite having football videos on the YouTube channel. Which, speaking of, I gotta start making those soon, because the new one came out. New College Football 27.
Woo.
And they repeated EA tried to repeat some history, but we're not gonna talk about that. They tried to do what they did to Battlefront 2.
And people didn't like it.
Yeah, no, literally a repeat of exactly what happened with Battlefront 2.
Yep.
Bar for bar what happened. Anyways, while we're on video games, we also have an update for Fate of the Old Republic. Not Knights of the Republic remake, although we do have an update for that. But first we got an update for Fate of the Old Republic, as it has hired Tony Elias, who worked as a writer on Cyberpunk 2077, as the narrative director. And he is hired, so he was a writer on Cyberpunk 2077 for Fate of the Old Republic. He's the game's narrative director. So
All right.
it's very funny that we were
Yeah.
just talking about that, and I was like,
I think mechanically is where that game struggled on release. Narratively, it's always been pretty good.
yeah. And so I think that's a good sign for this game. They're hiring talent. I'm not surprised. Currently, Fate of the Old Republic is slated for sometime before 2030, according to Casey Hudson. He's the guy that owns the company that's doing Fate of the Old Republic. He was one of the original writers on the original Knights of the Republic. That was why it was a big deal that he is doing this sort of not sequel. Like, yeah, it's what's the legacy title, I guess?
Yeah.
Where it's like not really a sequel to it, but it's like in honor of it. The other thing we got last video game news, and then we got one more trailer that we've got to talk about. But last video game news is kind of a rumor, but also true, because it's so it's about Knights of the Old Republic remake. So Saber Interactive has a new executive, and he recently, I guess he was asked in like his LinkedIn DM, like on a LinkedIn message, like what his plans are for like being in charge of Saber Interactive. And like he's worked with other companies that were sinking before, and he's brought them back. Like he's worked for Epic and stuff like that. And he said, "We are preparing to do more self-publishing." His name is Steve Allison, by the way. So quote from Steve Allison. "We are preparing to do more self-publishing, and I'm here to organize the group in preparation of the lineup forming for 2028. So this is him talking about games that are currently in the lineup for 2 years from now. And that includes Space Marine, Wick, hopefully KOTOR remake, and a few unannounced titles. So, which makes sense, because I guess, what, did we know Space Marine 3 was happening?
I don't think so.
I guess, I know, I mean, I guess that makes sense, because Space Marine 2 is pretty much almost done with its DLC stuff, I think. I think they just dropped the last DLC for that one. I didn't know that was Saber. But they're also, like, usually the parent company to the company. Yeah. Yeah, they were the developer on that. That one is okay. Usually they're not the straight up developer. Okay, so this is on the developing side. And then I knew about the Wick game. I heard about that before. And then I knew. Yeah, what other games? Yeah, they're doing.
Sorry, I saw Turok down there, and I was like, oh no.
Turok Origins. That would be okay. Yeah, Space Marine 3 is happening. To be announced. Same. These are all the to be announced. Yeah, it sounds like the John Wick. I knew about the John Wick game they were working on. It sounds like the plan from them is shoot for 2028 for KOTOR. It sounds like the other two are guaranteed 2028 is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But KOTOR, Harith and I talked about it. We think it might go 1 year over at max, that it might go to 2029 in the worst case scenario. So it sounds like both of our Old Republic games are like going to be near each other in like a couple years apart at most.
Yeah.
That's exciting for me. Fun for me. You don't care as much.
Yeah.
That's not true. You like the Old Republic era a little bit.
I do enjoy it.
God, having SWTOR has been interesting, man. I don't know if you've caught up on what's going on in that, but yeah.
I assume my boss is fucking shit up.
Malgus is fucking shit up.
Again?
Yeah, Malgus is, yeah.
Could he not?
How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? At least it's not Valkorian. He's gone. Vitiate Valkorian is gone for good, thank God.
Thank God.
But Malgus is causing shit still. Anyways, last piece of news. We got a trailer and release date for Vision Presents The Ninth Jedi.
Woo!
And the plan is they will be releasing all of its episodes on August 5th.
All right.
So very soon, right around the corner, we're going to be talking about that, obviously, because that has been probably the project I've been most excited for
for like a long while.
Yeah, like I like the moment they announced it, I was like, yes, that's the one that should be a show. And so I am. Oh, did I hit the wrong button? Nope. Okay, we're good. So trailer time. Animation's still just as good.
Are you a Jedi?
Hey, buddy, you're looking evil. Oh! Well, it's not the first time in Star Wars. Won't be the last.
Yeah.
Oh. That
Goodbye.
That looks worse than the Death Star. Or any of the one, because it just straight up went dust.
Yeah.
That's scary.
This is a lightsaber forged by Lord Zima. It reflects the user's heart.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh. Oh. What? So is Noam not... Oh. Oh! Oh, girl, no!
I think that's probably a nightmare.
Probably a
sequence.
vision, but still... Not great! Not great! Yeah! You saw that?
Mm-hmm.
God, this...
Anyhow, how do you feel about Monopoly with all the deals?
Oh, yeah. Ignore my watching board game videos. Ignore my board game videos that I watch. Yeah. So, are you as excited as I've been since the beginning?
Let's see how it goes.
Okay. I like the
I
idea.
am curious.
The best part is that it is, while it's technically not canon, it could fit canon very easily. And I hope that if this show is well enough received, we get more. Although, I imagine for you, the show you would want is a Ronin one.
Yeah, but I'm also...
You got your book.
I got my book, I got my comics.
You got your sequel book, or sequel episode.
And I got my sequel episode and my shorts. I'm good.
Yeah. So...
I'm not opposed to, like... There are some aspects of Star Wars that I do not find as interesting.
Yeah.
Ninth Jedi is not one of those. I like the concept that it gives.
Yeah, it's basically it gives a very basic concept that's in Star Wars, which is the Jedi are gone, but it's also like the Sith are gone too.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh. So that's a huge power vacuum.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like a lot of them are in charge, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, any of the Jedi or Sith that we do see, they're like kind of hiding still on both sides. I also like how the Kyber works in that. Once again, that's a case where I could see that fitting into canon, even though it is a concept that's not in canon currently. It very well fits what we know about Kyber crystals in canon. It just kind of would take away the idea of bleeding.
Yeah. Because
then it's a case of, well, it's not bleeding anymore. It's just turning red because it knows that you're evil.
Yeah.
But also, maybe that's one or two specific Kyber crystals that can do that. Because we know that it's only her lightsaber that does that. It's only Kira's lightsaber. That's her.
What?
It's only hers.
For the Ninth Jedi?
Oh, no. It's a few lightsabers that do that.
Yeah, that's all the lightsabers.
Yeah. Hers is special for some reason, though. Because her dad built it.
Her dad is the one who made them.
Yeah. There was a reason that hers specific... It's been a minute since I've watched... We got to rewatch those before that comes out. Just so I can refresh my mind. Because I do really like it. I like the lore. I like the ideas. I'm excited. And that's only in a few weeks, so...
Yeah.
But first, for this week, let's talk about what we got this week. We're going to go into the comic Shadow of Maul.
Welcome back to Janix.
Spoilers ahead. Alright. We return to Janix before the events of Maul Shadow Lord, as we learn that Tactical Defense Force Captain Brander Lawson is under investigation by Internal Investigations Officer Claravan Roll for his recent attempts in trying to take down the local crime lords that happened to end in a dead and a missing officer. We learned from Lawson that a week ago, he and his droid partner Two Boots had gone to a club to get information where Lawson was poisoned, and Two Boots was forced to call for backup in a shootout involving caged poisonous creatures that were likely used to make the very poison in Lawson's drink, and are also illegal to own. Chief Kleiss gives Lawson a dressing down for the sloppy work, even if it led to some arrests, as more people got away, and Lawson almost got himself killed. Lawson is more concerned that there is a leak in the TDF, as the people at the club knew to expect him. Chief Kleiss assigns him a team to work with that includes Hendrix, Jam Jam, and Fraxmore. Lawson immediately eyes Hendrix with suspicion as he remembers Hendrix's cybernetic hand being at the club. The very next mission, Lawson's team have to protect a witness who worked for Demas and is willing to snitch on him because her brother was poisoned at a wedding in the ever-ongoing gang wars. Only Lawson's team will know her location, which will allow Lawson to possibly sniff out who the leak within the TDF is, if it's someone on his team. It doesn't take long for Hendrix to immediately reveal himself as he blows up Jam Jam, who got the first watch of the witness. It turns out that it was a setup by Lawson and Two Boots, who were waiting in the room with no actual witness, and Hendrix already admitting to working for Demas as he shouts for the witness to reveal themselves because Demas wants them alive. We then see someone we aren't revealed who yet. We aren't ever revealed, actually, what happened there.
Yeah, no.
I never went back in the script to write that. Someone shoots and kills Hendrix. We never see who. We never learn the truth about that. That might be the only plot hole in this entire thing. The rest of this is pretty strong, but I feel like that's the one where I'm like, wait. I feel like that was a mystery you set up that we never got back to.
Sometimes people just die.
Sometimes somebody gets shot and we never figure out who it was.
Yeah.
Because my thinking was, I'm gonna go off script real quick on this because that is something that we never come back to. So now's the time to talk about it. I thought the premise was gonna be, because of how they framed it in the comic, it almost looks like Lawson's gun goes off and shoots Hendrix somehow.
Yeah.
But, Lawson is also yelling no, as if, oh no, I didn't shoot him, somebody else did. So I thought that the idea was, spoilers for the rest of this comic, I thought Rule was going to be setting him up as a fall guy for killing Hendrix, was what I thought the rest of this comic was going to go into. But it never comes back to Hendrix's death. I am right that Rule is a dirty, dirty rat, though.
Yeah.
We'll get to that though. At this point though, any thoughts on your end about that scene before we move on?
I was like, why does no one just use the fucking stun setting?
That's true.
You would solve so many problems.
But were you also kind of baffled we never got back to that?
Mm-mm.
It felt like they wrote it on purpose as a point to come back to.
Oh.
Anyways, at this point, Lawson is done being questioned by Claravine Rule and leaves, telling him that he understands where Rule is coming from, but that he needs to be willing to get his hands a little dirty on Janix if they're going to get the job done, and also giving a warning to stay out of his way. That's a very oversimplification of what he tells Rule, but it's essentially what he says.
Rule, you don't know how dirty these hands are already.
Meanwhile, in the Cena system, Maul has acquired a ride for free to Janix after acquiring new chain codes and killing the man who was selling him the ride. We next see Lawson and Two Boots on a stakeout, keeping an eye on Demas with a cam droid, when they overhear him making a deal with a mysterious droid that would give Demas 20 million Imperial credits, which would create an unbalance between the crime lords and get Imperial attention, driving the Empire to Janix. So Lawson and Two Boots tell the droid against Two Boots' wishes, as he wants to report to Kleiss. Once again, against Two Boots' advice, Lawson gets on board a train to keep up with the droid, but finds himself in a fight as the droid tries to, ironically, figure out who Lawson works for. It's very funny. Lawson's like, I'm telling this guy to figure out who this droid works for. Droid, who do you work for?
Oh, you know what? I think I remember why. I just didn't
care about Hendrix.
Yeah, I was under the impression that the droid
that Two
shot him-
Boots.
Not Two Boots. The one that's currently figuring
But
out
that droid doesn't show up until now.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's because
they kind of merged in your head. So this the droid figures out that he's police as Two Boots attempts to help, and they're both forced to shoot the droid and get the exchange from its data drive. Because the proper order is Lawson tries to shoot it. Droid is based off his gun, is like, oh, you're a cop. And then Two Boots from the police speeder shoots at the train and kills the droid. And then they get the information off of its data drive. We then witness at the spaceport as the negotiations start strong between Demas and the man, offering 20 million. Before the man gets upset that Demas didn't return his droid, which insults Demas, along with being made mad at the man for touching him during the accusation, because Demas is like, who do you think you are touching me?
Who the fuck?
Vario, of course, shows up right at this moment to try and make a play for the credits. As the two bicker over who should be getting the money, the man who was making the offer decides to leave and not work with anybody, as he's more likely to get shot than get guns.
Fuck this town.
It turns out Lawson found a way to slip the information to Vario so that they'd ruin the deal for each other and blame each other for the loss of money. Meanwhile, Maul arrives to Janix, where his people were readying things for him from the metal yards. They then melt the ship Maul stole so they can keep his arrival secret until he's ready to reveal himself. As Lawson is just trying to get some good old noir street food, someone tries to shoot him, and it's Fraxmore. A chase ensues that leads to Fraxmore getting hit by a speeder and killed on impact. Lawson files a report on it.
Lost another one.
Yeah. Lawson files a report on it and returns home hoping to find Riley and spend time with his son for once, but no Riley. Instead, Rule and some other investigators show up with questions about the now total of 3 dead officers. Guess Jam Jam did end up dying, because we never got a confirmation on that until now. And another missing officer named Spenson Tarek, who Lawson knows nothing about, not even recognizing the name. As Rule is giving the countdown to break Lawson's door down, someone smoke bombs him and his team. Lawson turns on his comms so Two Boots can track him in case things go poorly, which they, in fact, do, as he walks out to see what's happened, and it's revealed to be Vario, who then takes Lawson.
Yep.
Vario then makes it clear that he knows Lawson and Two Boots have been watching him, and he's watching Riley, who is now home safe and sleeping. In return, he has also set up Rule and his team by placing their bodies at a bar and creating photos that have already been sent to the head of internal affairs to get Rule off Lawson's back for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, Vario doesn't want Lawson dead, at least not yet, and also knows Lawson tipped him off on the weapons deal and sees this as returning the favor. He then tells Lawson to keep doing his job, but to stop doing it so well for both himself and Riley. So, keep doing your job, just don't do it as good. Take the easy paycheck.
Lawson. No.
Yeah, Two Boots arrives to get Lawson down after the party is over, and Lawson is determined to keep looking into things despite the warning. We then learn it's actually Maul who kidnapped Spenson to get information about Demas's banks as well as police patrol schedules. It's time for the Star Gauntlet pod race on Janix, with us learning that on most... this is the first confirmation of on most Imperial worlds, pod racing is illegal.
Yeah.
It's been outlawed, probably because of all the murder in them, would be my guess.
And also the fact that it's just already dangerous as shit.
But Janix doesn't fight it, as the police, including Lawson and Two Boots, tried to really just do damage reduction at this point. So
also, no Empire on Janix.
Well, they don't want the Empire there, and they don't have the band force to stop something like that, yeah. But also they're like, we don't want the Empire here, but also...
we do want...
we want some peace, but we're going to do damage reduction.
Yeah, that. Plus, the money is good for us.
Yeah, it helps the economy. You get a little bit of a boost every year. However, this year, Lawson notices that one driver, Tor Braxis, is being extra offensive and dangerous on the track.
Yeah.
So he calls his old bounty hunter friend, Rena.
He's driving crazy for a pod race.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Through Rena, he learns that Braxis is backed by Demas, with a bet on Braxis losing being placed by Vario. A 2 million credit bet, by the way. Vario and Two Boots quickly make their way to the likely location for Vario to do something to ensure he gets his 2 million credits, because they're like, well, shit, if he's doing a 2 million credit bet, then he's probably setting something up to ensure he gets that 2 million credits, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's only one place where he would probably do it. It's at this part of the track where, like, all the pod race, nobody can see the actual pod race, like the actual racers, properly without cameras. So Lawson tries to calmly break the crowd so that he can prevent collateral damage at the very least.
I don't understand. You have to get out of here. Who are you?
but he is unfortunately forced to fire his blaster to get them to
Alright,
leave.
Fine.
And of course, Rule is there to scold him for that and try to bring him in again. Of course, Braxis's own reckless driving causes him to wreck in a massive explosion, and Lawson manages to save Rule from the falling debris and the explosion itself. However, Braxis and his pod are not found on the site, and Two Boots and Lawson realize there's a bigger game. Braxis purposefully has created chaos on Janix with people panicking about their money at Rena's casino, but also the fear on the streets, allowing Braxis to sneak away unnoticed besides the security cams confirming to Lawson and Two Boots their theory. Braxis is attempting a heist on the casino's holdings, as with the Star Gauntlet occurring, they have a balloon to around 100 million credits, when normally they'd just be around 30 million. Braxis is betraying both Demas and Vario, but it turns out Maul betrayed Braxis and was the mastermind behind of the heist. The credits are
They all get there, and Braxis's body is just on the floor.
Yep,
They go, damn, another one.
Yep, credits are gone by the time Rena security arrives and Braxis is dead, beheaded by Maul. Because we see it in the comic frame, in the panel. After this...
Hey, I got the money!
Yep. After this, Lawson has had enough of Rule and has begun to trail him, and we finally get the confirmation that we've all likely been suspecting the whole time, that Rule works for Demas, as he does
in fact suck.
Yeah. As he has a discussion with him in Demas's casino, where he says he's trying to get rid of Lawson, and Demas refuses to give him more payment until the job is done. Demas is like, look, you keep fucking up. Until you get the job done, no money for you. Get out of here.
I prefer a more methodical approach. Get him away from us.
You suck at your job that I'm paying you dirty money for. Rule...
It's shut up money. You're not supposed to actually use it.
Yeah. So, Rule, turns out, is double dipping and working for Vario as well. It turns out even further, he's triple dipping with a merc unit run by Utapowan. That's why I was thinking the Utapowan earlier. Named Benesian Blore is my best guess of that name. Blore has other ideas for Rule, though. As Rule was hoping, maybe hire Blore's merc unit. I assume the plan was hire the merc unit out to deal with, to finally just deal with Lawson is what I'm thinking they were going to do. But Blore's like, hold on, I got a job for you first. We're going to go off to kill some members of a shadow unit with the promise that, Rule can turn in whoever survives to the TDF station so he can get a little bit of credit at the police station.
Yeah.
Lawson and Two Boots try to tell him with a surveillance droid, but Blore's team spot it and shoot it. And prepare for in fact, they prepared to, fight the officers and shoot them too if they see them, but that doesn't happen. Meanwhile, turns out Maul's people are the shadow unit. But Rookcast and Maul already know Blore is coming and prepare to deal with him. They fight and chaos ensues as Maul easily dispatches the first wave and his men take on the rest.
Yep.
Rule, unfortunately, runs into Maul and is killed.
Yep.
Lawson and Two Boots arrive to the scene to find everyone already dead.
Damn, got a few more of them.
But they manage to get some last words from Rule, who blames himself for his death, but doesn't point to anything that would help Lawson know of the coming storm, and that was Shadow of Maul.
I'm not a snitch, said Rule. You are.
You get paid to be, in fact.
By 3 separate organizations.
But yeah, so that was Shadow of Maul. I like it. And of course I know Seth.
Yeah, I fucking like it.
I was about to say, this is all you. This is Star Wars Noir.
Yep.
Star Wars Noir with your buddy Lawson as the main character. I think it's very funny that it's called Shadow of Maul, and then like Maul is like literally the shadow in this thing. He does not. He's barely in this comic, and it's honestly great.
He is doing stuff, but also like, fuck, man. Why do we only ever see you in dark alleys?
You see the shadow part of the title? That's why.
Yeah. It's leading up to the events of the show you watched. So here's all the cool stuff leading up to it, and we see how Maul set himself up for the victory that he gets.
No wonder no one else wants to fucking work with Lawson. They're like, oh, you mean that guy whose team just got fucking squad wiped?
You mean that guy that was being investigated by Internal Affairs, and then the guy investigating him was killed?
Yeah.
That guy?
And the guy who regularly gets shot at in the streets more than the rest of us?
The guy who used to be a bounty hunter and plays by bounty hunter rules most of the time when he's being a cop? That guy?
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go out for coffee and never come back.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm gonna have some calf. Call it a day. I'm good. Go have some street noodles.
Yep.
Say hi to Decker. That is, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I made the noir street food joke, because I'm like,
Does Lawson throw a squid at
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He throws a squid. He throws his food at Fraxmore because he was going to eat some squid, and then he's like, well, I guess I'm not eating today.
Yeah. I love just how he comes home and he's like, Riley, I got ramen noodles.
But it's good ramen noodles. It's like street food ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Street food ramen noodles versus like, nuked night. It's different.
Yeah.
It's a little different than getting a cup of the cup of noodles. Cup of noodles versus like actual like street food vendor ramen is that's a different ball game. Or even a sit down, or even better, a sit down place that serves ramen noodles, and then you get the egg and you get everything in. Damn it! Now I want ramen. But no, it's
fun.
It's fun.
It's a fun story.
It's a fun story. I personally, after this, I want more Lawson street cop comics.
Lawson.
Give me more street cop comics about Lawson. We can get rid of the Maul factor. We don't need Maul to enjoy Lawson, I think, at this point. I think Lawson is a character that stands on his own at this point. And so I would like to see... I want to go back. I want a comic or a book, even. A book would be even better. I want a story, though, however we play it out, about Lawson before the divorce.
Yeah, pre-divorce Lawson.
I want to see, leading up to the divorce, I want to see the fallout of that. I want to see, like, his work, like, his home life and his work life struggle with that. And then I want to see, like, Riley having to deal with being a child of separated parents because of the fact that mom works for the fascist government.
Son, I loved your mother.
Then she was a fascist.
Then she decided to go do some fucked up stuff, which is wild because it has to be fucked up by Janek's standards. She works for the ISB, son.
Yeah.
Don't trust them.
Yeah.
Don't trust the government. Dad, aren't you a cop? Yeah, but that's different.
I also don't trust my own coworkers, so like that should tell you something.
You can trust Two Boots.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Two Boots is the only... Two Boots might rat you out, but that's only because, like, he's actually following the law.
Yeah.
Like, because Two Boots is following the rules, that is why...
Yeah.
So you can trust Two Boots to follow the rules.
Also Chief Kleiss, but she's probably going to... Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We don't have to worry about it yet. Till the small guy shows up, then...
Dad, what the hell are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Just work stuff.
But yeah, no, I like this overall. I definitely want more Lawson stories. Like I'm saying, I want that story. I don't know if that's the story you would want about Lawson.
I would be okay with that. I want to see...
I would do flashbacks of him as a bounty hunter. I wouldn't do, like... I wouldn't want the focus of the story. I wouldn't want the present day story to be the bounty hunter stuff. I don't care if...
I think bounty hunter transitioning into cop.
Maybe that could work, but I would prefer like the bounty hunter stuff be like how it was in this comic where it's a flashback. We use his bounty hunter life to be applied into his cop life, where he's like, oh, we used to do this trick back as bounty hunters, we're doing this trick now as cops. It's just reworked a little bit to fit the system better. And so I like how they did that, and that's how I would continue to use the bounty hunter stuff. I wouldn't make the main story the bounty hunter stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I give this a pretty strong 8. I'm almost leaning 9.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, I was gonna
Because
say I would be surprised if you didn't give it a 9. Honestly,
it's not a 10, but it's a solid 9.
it's a good comic. It's only 5 issues, so it's a quick read, and so like, it took me maybe a few maybe 3 hours to do the script while reading it.
Yeah.
If I was just reading it, maybe an hour.
I'll probably reread it a little bit when I get home, just to see if like
There's fun things you missed, or
there's fun things we missed, or maybe they actually do handle the
I don't think they
shot fucking.
I don't think they do. I think it's just left to interpretation of a stray shot hit him.
Yeah.
And it also, I think, makes it interesting because Lawson doesn't clarify what happened either. So it makes it interesting that, like, even from Lawson's perspective, the version of stories he's telling, he's leaving something out.
Yeah.
I almost, when Vario revealed himself, I almost was like, oh, it's going to be revealed that Vario was the one who shot him. But then we don't. What was his name? It was Hendrix.
All along the watchtower.
Excuse me. Thank you. Nope, not that Hendrix. Maybe it's the human one. It is the human one.
All right.
Yeah, so they just say Demas ordered him killed when... So, like, it's assumed that Demas somehow shot him, but then... Or, like, one of his guys shot him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's meant to be Fraxmore?
Probably.
But I feel like it would just say it was Fraxmore. In the wiki entry. Because he was also working for Demas. Okay, it's supposed to be a sniper according. I didn't get that from the framing of like the comic. I'd have to look again.
Yeah.
But like from the way I saw things framed, they don't because we see all we get is Two Boots holding him, Lawson holding his gun, going no, and then blaster shot. Or blaster shot and then no. Either way, that's all we get from what I remember. Let me look again. I've got the comic right here. I could be wrong.
Damn, lost another one.
But that's how I remember reading it, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird that we don't see that. I guess we'll come back to it." And then we never come back to it. Yeah. Hendrix team. Okay, let me full screen that.
All right.
So they knock him out. Oh, it's the framing. I see. Oh, I see the sniper thing now. God, it's because that laser. You don't.
Yeah.
They have the scope. Yeah, so somebody shot. So it's just such a quick panel that. Okay, yeah, I was right. It is no, and then he gets shot.
It is no, and then he does get shot. Not by Lawson, though.
No. It's because Two Boots is literally holding him at the window.
Yeah. Bad spot to be, Hendrix.
Oh, man. And it's like, okay. And I guess that makes sense now with the glass breaking and, okay. Okay, comic. You got me. I wasn't paying attention to the artwork. I didn't see the laser,
Little red dots.
the red little red the sniper.
The thing that only is ever useful for informing other people that someone is about to be shot.
Yeah, only really in movies and television shows and video games.
Mhm.
I feel like if you're an actual sniper, you ain't using that.
Yeah.
If you're an actual sniper, you're just going, I got this shot.
Bang. But it's not. It's great for, like, I think the best scene where I think there's a reason behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is in. I think it's Winter Soldier. It's one of
Yeah. Winter Soldier,
where
yeah.
they're explaining to the politician, like, by the way, we will just shoot you.
But, yep, that's it, though, for this one. So, 8, 9.
Mhm.
Thank you all for watching today's episode of Escape Reality Star Wars Talk. If you really like our content, you can check out our Patreon, which is Escape Reality Films. Shout out to Jennifer Brantley.
Yeah.
You can also support us by becoming a member of our YouTube channel. Shout out to Pixie Nixie and her shared channel with Zach, the Goof Goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Both the
Friends of ours.
Yep, both the Patreon and YouTube memberships give you access to our content before they're released publicly on YouTube, as well as other extra goodies, including pages from my new comic book, Super Worlds, with amazing art by M Arts, where I have been adapting the short story Shadows of the Night from my Super Universe short story collection. If you'd like to be a part of our community, you can also check out our Discord, which is linked wherever you're watching. Seth.
Yes. Every other Sunday from 5 to 7 Central Standard Time, you can catch some friends of ours over on YouTube at the Steam Dungeon playing Trials of Nebu, their D&D 5e game. Oh boy. A little bit of inter-party conflict happened, but if you want to go and catch up on that, go watch it.
All right. And once again, thank you all for watching. Join us next week for Visions Sukumo. I've spoken.
Y'all be safe out there.
Bye.